This video is going to show you how to create vendor and service provider records in the My Data Diary Plus tool. We're going to work in the household section for these examples. Each section has a vendor and provider section. You can create vendor and provider records directly in the vendor provider page for that section, or as you are entering records on a different page, as you create a vendor or provider, it will appear automatically in the vendor and provider page of that section. For this tutorial, we're going to enter directly into the vendor and provider page on the household section. So we'll click in there now. Importantly, the thing to remember is a vendor is a business, a service provider is a person. So let's add a handyman into the household section by clicking Add New Record. Since my handyman is a person not associated with a business, we're going to enter him as a person. I'm going to select handyman as the service type. I'm going to enter his name. And the information that I need for him is his address and his phone number. That's how I engage with him. He also has a website, so I will include that information as well. I know I have not created information for this vendor yet, so I don't need to search. So I'm going to add an address for this vendor. And I'm going to actually change the name here so that it's very clear to me when I open the tool that this is my handyman. I'm going to enter his address. And now I'm going to enter a phone number for him. And I'm going to go ahead and change this as well. You want the display names to be meaningful to you. I'm going to select mobile number as that's how I call him. And I am going to enter his website, just in case I want to pass that along. And I'm going to call this Tom's Handyman Service. And this is his website. I don't have a username or password. It's just helpful for me to have that website information. I'm going to tie this service provider, Tom, to Jim and Mary. Return to the top of the page. And now I see a record for Tom Bennett, handyman. Now let's create a record for a service provider associated with a vendor. So we work almost exclusively with Al Jones at ABC Plumbing. So I want to create a record for both Al and ABC Plumbing. So I'm going to go in here, and he is a service provider. He's a plumber, Al Jones. And his direct mobile number, I'm going to add here. And I'm going to change his display name to Al Jones Plumber. This is his mobile number. And that's how I reach him directly. But I do want to know that he's tied to ABC Plumbing, and I know I've not created a record yet for ABC Plumbing. So I'm going to type in ABC Plumbing, and now I'm going to also add a number for ABC Plumbing's switchboard in case I can't reach Al on his mobile or need to have someone else come out to assist us. I'm now going to associate that vendor, ABC Plumbing, to Jim and Mary, and Al to Jim and Mary. I'm now going to return to the top of that page, and I can see Al Jones and ABC Plumbing. I can sort them by service type, by name, etc. Finally, I'm going to create a record for a vendor that does not have an association with the service provider. In that case, I'm going to add a record, select vendor. In this case, it's a groomer for our pets. We use Petco. We don't have a specific groomer we use, so we just make arrangements to take our pets to our Petco location at this address. And I'll enter the address here, complete here. And we call the main switchboard number. So I'll add that phone number. Again, modifying the name as I want it to appear. The main office number. And again, this one is linked to Jim or Mary. They might want to look up that information. I scroll back to the top and I can now see Petco and I can sort it in order. Remember that once you have entered a vendor or provider directly in the vendors and providers section, you can associate that record directly with a record somewhere else in the tool. For example, I click on Missy, my pet here, and if I want to add Petco as one of the service providers for her, I can click on Petco and add that record here. We hope this gives you the information you need to successfully manage vendors and providers in the My Data Diary Plus tool.